Hi guys, welcome back to my channel once again here on YouTube. Today I decided to do a WWE DVD and Blu-ray premium live event year of 2022 rankings video. I was going to do the year in review for the DVDs and Blu-rays, but I've decided to do a rankings video instead with help of my friends on Facebook from a post I put up because I couldn't make my mind up if I wanted to do rankings or a year in review. So with their help and giving it some thought, I've decided to go with the rankings. Before I begin, my rankings, a lot of you probably won't agree with. There are going to be a few probably controversial placements throughout the rankings of how I've put them. You might not like some of the things I've got to say, but it's just my own opinion on everything. And list yours by all means in the comments. List your favorite 12 premium live events for the year of 2022. I'm also going to go by cover artwork as well to try and help, the rankings out a little bit more if I was a bit undecided. But when we get to like the top 5, top 4, it was very tight, but we'll cover that when we get there. But these first few were no-brainers for me to be at the bottom of the list. The worst of the worst of that year. So, without further ado, here we go. Let's kick things off with number 12. The DVD of Elimination Chamber 2022. Very colourful artwork. Got Brock Lesnar's mug on the front there, and the Elimination Chamber in the background, and the city of, I think that was that Riyadh, Saudi Arabia? Sorry if I haven't pronounced that correctly. But yeah, this was one of them Saudi Arabian premium live events, which unfortunately, in my opinion, was another one that was a disaster. I didn't like the Elimination Chamber matches very much. I just found them boring and very predictable. I didn't like how Goldberg was booked here against Roman Reigns. After coming back after all the years away in 2016, and then WWE trying to book him how he was in WCW originally, and he was just running through all the top talent, squashing them. Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt, rest in peace, bless him, and just to name a few, and winning the Universal Championship, obviously. And then you got this match against Roman Reigns, which he loses via submission, I do believe. Just a terrible booking decision. I'm not saying it because I'm being a bit biased. It might sound as though I am because, growing up watching WCW and watching Goldberg, I liked Goldberg, don't get me wrong. A lot of fans of Goldberg out there, and you've got a lot of haters calling him Oldberg or whatever. That's all your opinions. I've got mine, you've got yours. Piss poor booking decision, terrible match. Didn't like that one at all. The only highlight, I guess, was Lita coming out of retirement to take on Becky Lynch, but even she had a bit of ring rust. Again, just my opinion, guys. Terrible pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever. But yeah, not for me. So that one's number 12. Number 11, this one's probably going to get me a lot of hate, but I don't give a shit. It's my opinion, as I said. SummerSlam on Blu-ray. So yeah, cover artwork's pretty good. I do like the logo. All the colourful neon light effects as well, which they keep using throughout the last few years for the cover artwork. Pretty cool. Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair at the top of the spine there. And then we have Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey at the bottom. And there's the back. So, yeah, there's a bit of a mixed bag, this one. More negative than positive. I know this was Paul Levesque's first premium live event in charge, I do believe, after taking the reins off of Vince McMahon. After Vince was relieved of his duties or whatever happened, all that shit that happened back then. I don't want to talk about that now. I want to talk about this. So yeah, The main event, let's just start with that, shall we? The last man standing match. I mean, at this point, I was sick and tired of seeing Brock against Roman Reigns. Well, even before that, when it was, the WrestleMania match, the third WrestleMania of them against each other. I mean, why? Two matches together, maybe. You know what I mean? And I know you've got to have your feud. I get that. And maybe you have a second feud somewhere down the line in your career. But it just seems like over the last X amount of years, it's just pretty much these two headlined every pay-per-view stroke premium live event. And it was a really, really bad decision because, yet again, Roman Reigns retained. If Brock was to have won that, then maybe I would have felt a little bit more different about it. But because it's just booked for the same finish with the same two wrestlers, same match. Well, not same match, as in like the same match of the two individuals squaring off against one another, but obviously a different match type, last man standing. But sorry, I just couldn't get my words out there. I was very fucking frustrated, especially with this shit. But yeah, the only highlight, I guess, of that was the digger. Is that what you call them? Coming down and picking up the ring with Roman still in it, with Brock driving the digger, whatever the fuck. I don't know what you call them over in the US. We call them diggers in the UK. Unless they changed the name of that as well now. Sorry for the sarcasm, guys. It's just fucking ridiculous. All these name changes. I've got to remember. Premium live events, not pay-per-views anymore, bunny. Diggers, and probably called something else. You know what I mean? Wrestlers changing their fucking names as well. Oh, it's all going on. But anyway, happy thoughts now. Speaking of happy Corbin against Pat McAfee. I mean, why? Like, why did we need to see that? Pat McAfee's not even a fucking wrestler. He's a fucking commentator. Didn't need to see that shit. Street Profits against the Usos, I do believe, on this one, wasn't it? Let's just go over that just to clarify. Yes, it was for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Good match, but again, two teams that have done battle against each other on countless amounts of TV shows and events, pay-per-views, premium live events, whatever. Just becomes boring after a while. We need something new, something fresh. Logan Paul against The Miz. You know, that's definitely worth checking out, I guess, at this event. But yeah, I mean, very poor indeed how this all turned out. Liv Morgan against Ronda Rousey is just the finish to that, just very bizarre. Very questionable. I don't know. I'm moving on from that anyway. Yeah, so we're coming into the top 10 now. In 10th place, we've got Money in the Bank. Beautiful artwork on that, though. I do like both the happy couple there together. Seth freaking Rollins and his lovely wife, the man, Becky Lynch. With all that money and the Money in the Bank briefcase on the front cover artwork there. There's the spine, Ronda at the top, and the Usos at the bottom. Yeah, this one was slightly better than SummerSlam in my opinion, but again, it's these booking decisions. Adding Theory to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I mean, that was just that ruined the whole thing for me for that match, and yeah, I just didn't like that idea. I get why he was added, obviously, because he is, Vince's new little pet project. He was grooming him, and you know what I mean. And God knows what else. We won't even go down that road. But yeah, Theory being added to the match, them winning it. That's just fucking lazy writing. It really is. And what a waste of cash in that was as well, in my opinion. Ended up cashing it in on a fucking US championship. No offense to the US title. I do like its heritage and everything. But why? I thought the Money in the Bank cash-ins were towards world championships, not the second tier championships. Make your mind up. Why didn't he cash in on the then NXT champion, whoever the fuck that was? I can't remember. I not even going to try to remember back then. But yeah, that's just another thought and opinion on that. That's one of the downers, I guess, on this. Highlight of this one, because I don't want to go too long with this video talking about each pay-per-view if I can help it. But a highlight, I guess, Liv winning and then cashing it in on the same night and winning the whatever championship that was. The women's, was that the SmackDown one, guys? I can't remember now. Or is that the Raw one? But yeah, one of the women's championships. So many titles to keep up with in wrestling, especially if you're covering so many companies like I do now. Yes, anyway, that was number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have the Royal Rumble on Blu-ray. Yeah, the cover artwork is, I guess it's okay on that one. It is what it is. There's the disc. Spine. We have Maurice and The Miz at the top of the spine, and we have Edge and Beth Phoenix at the bottom of the spine there. So yeah, the mixed tag match, which I was just talking about the participants on the spine there then. So Maurice and Miz against Edge and Beth Phoenix was a good standout match, I guess. It was exciting to see, you know, a few of them teaming together, married couples against each other. Interesting stuff. The women's rumble was a lot better than the men's, but that's not saying much because it still lacked very much for me. The men's one just felt, well, both of them felt like they were full of a lot of legends and just fillers. Predictable. When as soon as Lesnar dropped the championship to Lashley, it's predictable. Number 30, him coming in, squash everyone, win the fucking Rumble. Move on from it. One of the worst Rumbles in recent years, in my opinion. Right, moving into onto 8th place now. We're starting to get more better quality premium live events, in my opinion, from this year. So we have WrestleMania Backlash. Stupid name, I know, everybody says. I agree. Why call it WrestleMania Backlash? Well, we know why, but what's the point? Bit of a lazy looking cover artwork, I guess, with just Edge's face on with a bit of colour slapped around it. But no offence, Edge. We got Charlotte Flair at the top of the spine there and Ronda Rousey at the bottom. Yeah, again, this was a bit of a mixed bag of good and bad. So the good, some of you probably won't agree with me with this, but I did like, was this the handicap match one? Let me just double check. So, no, it was just Lashley against Omos. I thought it was the handicap match one, but no, this one was a good one. I didn't mind that, even though the pace of it was slower than average because of Lashley working with Omos. Edge against AJ Styles, a hell of a lot better than their WrestleMania match together from this same year. Big improvement. I did like that one. And of course we had Cody against Seth, another cracker of a match. And apart from that, yeah, the rest of the card was a bit meh. Coming in at 7th place, sorry guys. Coming in at 7th place, we have Day One. Now, when I was originally set out to do this, I had to have a good think about this because I thought this was going to be lower down, like near the Elimination Chamber, SummerSlam kind of area of the list. But surprisingly, it was a pretty good pay-per-view, a premium live event. Got Becky Lynch at the top and Liv at the bottom of the spine there. Yeah, the main event got changed from a 4-way to a 5-way with Brock Lesnar thrown into the mix because of the original match was Brock against Roman Reigns, I do believe, for the championship, and unfortunately Roman Reigns, I think he had COVID or something, tested positive for COVID around that kind of time. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, sorry guys. But yeah, still adding him to the mix, adding Brock to the four-way. It was pretty cool to see him Brock against like Big E and Lashley. Quite fun. I didn't mind that. Obviously, the uh, the ending of the match was questionable, but other than that, yeah, it was okay. And then we had another highlight was Becky Lynch in her match, and I just remember the goats she had on her shoulder pads. I always remember that from day one. Quite a standout moment. And the Miz against Edge. Edge with his entrance. I think this is the one where he's like got the Brood entrance. It's pretty cool. Good stuff. Yeah, this one wasn't as bad as what I thought it was. Maybe I watched it at a bad time in my life. I don't know, because I looked at it before, and then I thought, and then I thought about it, and then no, that's not that. It's not that bad of a premium live event. Why did I like hate on it a little bit or slightly more than what I thought? It's a positive, not a negative. And like I said, it's a sight better than SummerSlam and Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank and Rumble. Right, are we going into the top 6 now? I do believe we are. We have War Games in 6th place on Blu-ray. Really cool artwork with that one. I do appreciate that. With the bloodline. And there's like a mini poster in the background. I won't get it out, so I'll be here all day trying to put it back in again. And I've got a bit of a sore middle finger as well, due to my health issues. But anyway, moving on. I think both War Games matches were good. It was good that Paul Levesque decided to bring the War Games concept to the Survivor Series pay-per-view to try and spice it up a little bit more. Obviously, Vince wouldn't have done something like that because he didn't like to use other people's ideas. And I do believe Dusty Rhodes was the creator of War Games. And so that was a nice little tribute to Dusty Rhodes as well by adding this to the pay-per-view premium live event. For fuck's sake, I keep doing that. Obviously, War Games was used before this in WWE for NXT events, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys. On my NXT knowledge, I'm only just starting to go through at the moment and brush up on some of that. It's relatively not new to me, but the most of the knowledge of the NXT is still growing on me at the moment. I preferred the women's War Games to the men's, just in case you were wondering, guys. And we had the US Championship Freeway with Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, and was it a Freeway? Yeah, of course it was, because it had Seth Rollins defending it. Yeah. And apart from that, not a lot else to report. But yeah, 6th place. This is when things started to get a little bit difficult for me to make my mind up on what premium live event should go where in my rankings. So 5th place, I've gone with Hell in a Cell. Awesome artwork with Crybaby Cody on there. Cody Crybaby or whatever. I'm only kidding. Cody Rhodes. It's a good. I think this one came with a poster, didn't it? I can't remember now either. Cool artwork though. Got Cody again on the top of the spine. Bianca Belair on the bottom. And yeah, this one was quite shocking, especially watching it, not knowing that Cody... Well, I think we did read that Cody had an injury, wrestling with an injury prior to this, but we didn't know the extent, like the damage that it took. Or did it look more horrific than it was supposed to have looked when he took his robe off? Made me wince. I thought, wow, I mean, it's like half-covered kind of Grimace look going on. Grimace from McDonald's, and what the fuck's that all about? But yeah, nasty-looking, huge bruise on his pectoral area and down the side there. Great match, though. He did well to hold his own against Seth Rollins. They both worked well together and that, and it's a very, very good Solid Hell in a Cell match. Probably the best of the matches they had that year. Yeah, I would say so, actually. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I might change my mind in the future, but at the moment, I'll go with that. We also had, this is the one with the handicap match, now I remember. So we had the Lashley against Omos and MVP, which was a fun handicap match, in my opinion. Again, a lot of you probably don't agree with that, but it's just my opinion. Madcap Moss against Happy Corbin. I mean, what the hell was going on with Madcap Moss back then? And where is he now? Can anybody tell me where the fuck Madcap Moss is now? I don't know. It's just matches like this that just seemed irrelevant, and I look back on them and they just seem irrelevant now. Possibly, no offense to Madcap Moss, maybe with the correct booking he could have accomplished more. Who knows? But his feud with Happy Corbin, I wasn't overly keen on that. Finn Balor, who was he against on this? I can't remember who Finn Balor was against on this, so I do beg your pardon, guys. But yeah, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. My mind just went blank then. I didn't write it down either on my notes. In fourth place, I decided to go with Crown Jewel. We had Roman Reigns against Logan Paul in the main event. This was a 2-disc set. And there's the spine, Brock Lesnar at the top, Lashley at the bottom. And one of the best screenshots ever, with Logan Paul leaping off the turnbuckle while Roman Reigns goes to do a Superman punch at the same time. It's like a superhero movie, isn't it? Like a Marvel or DC kind of weird shit like that going on. But it's a really good photo. I do like that one. And the match, surprisingly, was very good. It was a good main event. I'm not a fan of both of these wrestlers, don't get me wrong. I don't hate them, but I don't like them. But I didn't mind watching them against each other as well, because they both put on a solid main event, in my opinion. And like I said, I was giving praise to Logan Paul earlier. He's a cocky, arrogant prick, but he's still done well, in his rookie year for WWE, in my opinion. The Battle of the Giants was pretty cool. We had Omos against Braun Strowman. A lot of people probably shit on that one because two giants against each other never seems to work well in a wrestling match. Just ask Undertaker, Giant Gonzalez, Great Khali, Big Show. The list goes on. But yeah, I didn't mind it though for what it was. Oh, and I did like the cage match between Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. That was cool. There's probably lots of other interesting things to talk about on there, but I'm trying to make this video not as short as possible, but I don't want it to be ridiculously long at the same time. Coming in at third place, I decided to go with WrestleMania. In case you guys are wondering, this is the limited edition cover artwork from WWE DVD UK from when they were selling it. And we have the Usos on the spine there, along with Arcade Bro at the bottom. 2 discs. Very mixed opinion about this. So I preferred night 1 to night 2. Night 1 obviously stole the show with Cody making his return to WWE as Seth Rollins' mystery opponent, and the Kevin Owens show thing that ended up being a brawl between, no holds barred match, between Austin and Owens himself. And that was fucking awesome. Austin back in a match, I guess, for the first time in almost 20 years. Great stuff. And then we had what I would call slightly disappointing night 2, again with the same booking decision of having Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar. Yawn, if you know what I mean. Yeah, WrestleMania in at third, guys. Second place, I decided to go with, this would probably be number 1 on most people's list, But I decided to go with Clash at the Castle. This is the Blu-ray version of this. Also had DVD releases with different color cases, depending on where you purchased it from. For example, if you purchased it from HMV, I do believe it was green. I could be wrong. One of them was red, and then there was a black one. One came from Morrison's or Asda or something like that. I don't fucking know. I never picked them up. But yeah, then we got this awesome inlay with Drew McIntyre with his sword. It's pretty good. Got Liv Morgan on the spine there. Yeah, absolutely fantastic event. It could have been number one if I had actually attended it in person, perhaps. I would have felt differently about it. I didn't, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. It costs so much. You've got to consider travel and ticket prices, spending money, food money, you know, whatever. It all soon mounts up, especially when you've got 3 children and your own family to try and support as well, and trying to balance everyday life. To, you know, afford a luxury like that, you have to have a fucking good job. But anyway, enough of that shit. I didn't go to it. That's my problem. Nobody else's. I still enjoyed this. We had Blu-ray exclusive special features with this as well. The complete Clash at the Castle kickoff show plus highlights from SmackDown. We had what I consider the best match of 2022, Gunther against Sheamus. That was an absolute fucking banger, in my opinion. We have Seth Rollins against the guy that never bothers to wear any fucking shoes, Matt Riddle. And yeah, that was pretty cool as well. Lots of good stuff. Lots of interesting matches. Disappointing main event finish, I guess. A lot of people were hoping McIntyre to beat Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, but that obviously didn't happen. But to spice up the mood afterwards, we did have a nice karaoke sing-along to look forward to, with Tyson Fury coming in the ring and singing along with Drew McIntyre. But yeah, good artwork on that as well. I really do appreciate it, guys. I love that dragon in the background and the castle as well. That's my second place. So in first place, I'm going to go with Extreme Rules. Cool colour they used for this as well around the logo. I do like the green and purple. Does clash very well, doesn't it? We've got Karrion Kross at the top there, Drew McIntyre at the bottom of the spine. Just an absolutely fantastic event. I really liked the fight pit match between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. We had MMA legend Daniel Cormier, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, as the guest referee for that. Karrion Kross against Drew McIntyre in a strap match, which was awesome. Ronda Rousey against Liv Morgan in an Extreme Rules match. And what other highlights were there? Finn Balor's match. Yeah, it was just an absolutely awesome premium live event. There we go. I got it right this time, the name. Not pay-per-view. Not pay-per-view, Bunny. And obviously, we had the appearance and the return of Bray Wyatt. So you could tell Paul Levesque booked this and not Vince McMahon. Great show. Absolutely great show. My number one of 2022. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you agree with all my list today. Comment, like, if I deserve it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you again soon for another one. Take care for now.